With me today is going to be guests that are absolutely rich, the backgrounds in terms of security and safety. And we have Madam Miss Irene Ogaja that's going to be bringing a very solid perspective as regards the way we as a society also view the way the interplay of security and safety, and of course vis-a-vis the way we as a society are socialized, culturalized, and with our value systems that inform the way we actually gel around safety and security considerations. Now, remember to follow me on my socials at Byron Adera, Adera B Panther on Facebook. This is Byron Adera, ex-Kenya Special Forces operator, security expert, consultant, and a blogger. Okay, now, Irene, welcome to this platform. This is going to be, and we expect you to come in very strongly with, we could be talking as serious experts with my brother Kingsley Litali. But there's a lot of gap, we could be talking as experts, but that gap between experts and the consumers of what we are saying has got to be bridged. And that's why fairly much you are here today, and I'm honored to host you on this platform. To help us break this down and also to bridge the gap between the you who's representing quite a number of individuals out there who may not know exactly what we are doing and who may have quite a great idea as to how then what we are doing and what we intend to possibly bridge the gap with between ourselves and the consumers of security and safety. Is able to have a deeper understanding and a better uptake of what we are trying to do. So really welcome, and you are, well positioned to moderate this conversation for the general viewership and to help us break this down.
Thank you very much. Thank you for Byron, for allowing me in this platform. This is an interesting conversation. It's even more interestingly the topic. We talk about psychology of criminal conduct. We look at it as this very huge thing, and we want to break it down and let people understand what is this psychology of criminal conduct. We'll just use a very good example. We look at a lot of crimes. We see on TV. We hear somebody has committed this crime. Maybe a relative back home has committed a certain crime, and the first thing you'll ask, what were they thinking? What happened that this person changed and became this person? And you try to figure out and understand. So you speak from a person who's maybe considered a normal by general standards, and you wonder, what is this person was thinking, and they were able to rape all these people. You've had people having coitus with animals, and you wonder what were you thinking when you were, such kind of activities, and you keep on wondering. So when you put it down to psychology of criminal conduct, you start thinking, what were these people thinking? What were they feeling at this time? What motivated them to such kind of activities? I would love to hear the answers.
Absolutely. And so I'd invite Kingsley Litali to take a deep dive on this, and quite relevantly so. Recently we heard of Merton the other day. And trust me, even myself as a parent as well, I was sat there and I got a junior, and this guy, going by the profile, is a guy who was going out there to, he kidnaps or he gets kids and he kills them in cold blood. And it's something that as irrational, it sounds quite, and we're shaken. So as a parent myself, I called upon my, teachers, and I was thinking, hey, what could be going on? This guy has escaped from the police cells. What do you think? And the whole populace, and as regards public safety and security, the whole populace was gripped with suspense and indecisive fear. And that in itself is terror. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, about matters safety and security and the criminal psychology, a lot of things come to my mind. One thing that comes in my mind is the upbringing, how this person was brought up, the kind of environment that this person was brought up. And it's quite interesting that the environment that we are brought up in really plays a key role in nurturing character. So many a times you find that your environment will really trigger the kind of person that you'll be. We talk about the associations, the people you are with, the people you mingle with. And they say the real character of a person usually comes up when no one is seen. Yeah. So we talk about somebody identifying themselves for who they are, and basically the psychology of a criminal mindset trickles down to me, one, because of the environment that they are brought up in, and the perception that the people who are around them give to them. If you normalize something too much, and it's you make it so normal that killing is normal or kidnapping is normal, then and people grow up in that kind of environment, then it becomes normal to them. So when they do it, they're doing a normal thing, and yet these are social ills that need to be stopped. So basically, we have to start from the environment. That is how I think we can start.
Yeah, true. So, Irene, and for the viewers out there, the environment has a lot to do with the way we perceive things. And as I said at the beginning, that we are, as human beings, we see the world not as it is, but as we are. So the way the environment partly shapes someone. So it's both nature and nurture. No one is born a criminal, no one is born. Much as I know there's the psychology of criminal conduct, the theories out there, that have been advanced as to how nature and nurture would shape up, some of these traits that we see and predispose people to crime. But fairly much the environment would be the people around you, the way someone is social and the character that's built, that is resilient in them, and of course gels into habits. And that may be stimulated in a way by the way the environment is either, one, not very resistant to it, two, may not seem to recognize this and address itself to curtailing these bad things that happen in the society or being propagated by individuals. And perhaps four, and there's many examples out there, there's environments that could actively even stimulate those kind of wrongdoings. I mean, we know it as young men who are growing in this society today. Absolutely, crimes of opportunity, that there are people who will look at this space and say, hey, if someone is making a crime seems to pay much more than hard work.
White collar crimes, especially.
White collar crimes, today they pay, and that shakes the whole, cornerstones of safety and security for this country in mega ways. If our environment is flooded with monies that are not, and there's a lot of liquidity in the environment, and you and I cannot get by because the inflation is skyrocketing, that in itself is a destabilization factor for the public wellness, and that's security and safety. So as Kingsley has rightfully said, and is a critical factor here, the environment has got to be postured in a way that shapes people's perspectives and perceptions, value systems, endearing value systems and habits that are in support of general safety and security and therefore wellness.
Yeah. No, I was listening to Kingsley, and he talked about the environment. We talk about socialization. We talk about what kind of values that we impact in our children as they grow up. Look, if you have a family or a community that is steeped in some sort of a lot of criminal activities that happen, then that is normalization of criminal activities. The child does not know better. They grow up knowing that, well, stealing is okay. The environment in which they grow up in, they look at, let's say even sometimes a lot of these shanty towns, because of you mentioned it quite correctly, that there are a lot of struggles, and people might have to resort to what they see their parents doing. They want to resort to what they see their friends doing or their elder brothers are doing, and that's where they learn from. You remember, the children never really, as you grow up, it's not what you say that matters, it's what you do. And they see it. So when they become adults, you realize, you wonder, what has happened to this child? Why are they doing this? But it's because they saw it. Or maybe you as a parent was never around really, and this uncle who was always having all this money flooding around, coming, hiding money under the seats, and kids always see these funny things that uncles always do, hiding money under the seats, and they keep on wondering what happens. And then, somehow this uncle is telling them this story, and they say, okay, this is what happens so that I can become rich. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then they grow up and
I feel Kings knows this as good as I do, or probably better.
Yeah, when you look at it from the family background, most of the families, we're talking about the environment, right? So socialization, how children are being brought up, really pretty much the values that you instill in them will steer the kind of livelihoods that will live in the future.
Yeah.
They say 21 days of doing something continuously becomes a habit.
Yes. And Robert Merton did put it to us in his train Anomie theory. He talks about a lot of things, but one of the stuff that's highlighted is deviant behavior. And it says deviant behavior occurs when our conventional aspirations exceed the level of achievement that is associated with legitimate behavior.
I have very good, interesting examples there. Two things. When you are walking customer into a shopping mall, mostly ladies, when you're pregnant, you don't get scanned. You don't get scanned, you pass on the other side. So who knows that pregnancy is a real one or not? It doesn't, because sometimes it's very big, so shopping malls are processing a lot of people. They don't have time to look at these things. Another thing, if you have a small baby, you always pass on the side.
It's interesting because it is quite easy to commit crime when you're looking like a person who has it all.